The coworker who tried to steal my promotion and got burned by karma. I've been working at a mid-sized digital marketing company for about 4 years now. When I started as a junior content strategist back in 2018, I was green but eager to learn. Over time, I worked my way up, proving my worth with hard work, dedication, and delivering measurable results. Late nights, weekend work, mentoring new hires, I took it all on with a smile, hoping it would lead to something bigger. By early 2021, things were finally looking up. The content director position was going to open soon. It was the dream role, the one I had been quietly preparing for behind the scenes. My manager had dropped some encouraging hints that I was the leading candidate. I felt confident and ready, and then Claire arrived. Claire was hired 6 months before the position was officially posted. She was a content writer with an impressive background, worked at some big-name agencies, had the kind of energy that makes people notice her, and an ambition that was intense. At first I thought she was just another enthusiastic newbie. I even took it upon myself to help her get up to speed, thinking it'd be good karma. But Claire wasn't just ambitious. She was ruthless. Almost immediately, she started making comments about how outdated our processes were. She'd compare our workflows to her last job, implying we were slow, inefficient, and stuck in the past. People laughed it off, but I felt uneasy. She had an edge to her, like she wasn't just trying to fit in. She wanted to take over. What really bothered me was how quickly she built connections with the higher-ups. Within 2 months, she was having lunches with the VP, chatting with department heads, and even showing up uninvited to management meetings. I brushed it off at first. Some people are just natural networkers, right? But then she started copying my work. I won't lie, it was subtle at first. Claire would borrow ideas I shared in team meetings and then repackage them as her own in conversations with the leadership team. She began inserting herself into projects I led, sometimes offering helpful suggestions that conveniently made me look bad or distracted my team from priorities. She also started giving me backhanded compliments. You're still using that? Tool that's ... vintage. I'm surprised you haven't tried X software. We used it at my old agency. Total game changer. I tried to ignore it, but it was draining. The worst part, Claire's attitude was starting to impact the team's morale. Some junior staff started gravitating toward her. Maybe because of her confidence, or because she was always pushing fresh ideas. But the more I watched, the more I realized Claire's confidence was mostly smoke and mirrors. She didn't actually want to do the hard work. She volunteered for the spotlight projects, but passed the grunt work to others. She threw around buzzwords and name-dropped contacts she claimed to have in the industry. Contacts that never seemed to materialize. I confronted her once after. She jumped into a project I was managing without permission. Claire, you need to respect the chain of command. Let's keep things professional. She smiled. Relax, I'm just trying to help. But her help always came with an agenda. Then came the announcement. February 2022. The content director role was officially open for internal applications. Everyone assumed I'd get it. I'd been preparing for years. Then I found out Claire applied. 2. I wasn't immediately worried she lacked the experience, and her leadership skills were questionable at best. But strange things started happening. A report I submitted to the VP suddenly had errors flagged by other managers. I triple-checked my files. Everything was correct on my end. Presentation materials disappeared from shared drives. Rumors began swirling that I was planning to quit and go freelance. I felt like I was under attack. One of my former interns reached out saying Claire had contacted her on LinkedIn, asking what kind of boss I really was. That was when I realized Claire wasn't just ambitious, she was actively sabotaging me. I decided not to confront Claire head-on. Instead, I quietly started documenting everything. Every suspicious email. Every altered document, every strange comment was logged and saved. I also asked IT to check document histories and permissions on shared files. They found Claire had edited a critical report of mine. Inserting a formula that broke half the charts, I compiled all this evidence into a folder I called Insurance. Meanwhile, I doubled down on my work. I revamped my presentations, refined strategies, and held detailed one-on-ones with my team to gather their input and support, all documented. Some colleagues who had noticed Claire's behavior started offering positive feedback about my leadership without me asking. Claire, meanwhile, was alienating the team. Junior staff avoided her, and even her mentors were wary of her. The day of the interviews arrived. I was nervous, but prepared. I walked in with data-backed plans, testimonials from the team, and a clear vision. Claire went next. Her presentation was suspiciously similar to mine, a near copy of a strategy document I had shared with the team but never made public. Leadership wasn't impressed. While she was polished, she lacked depth and couldn't substantiate her ideas with data. I sent a follow-up email to the VP, attaching my original strategy document, making sure to clarify ownership. 2 weeks later, I was called into a meeting. With the VP HR and legal, I was bracing for bad news instead. They asked me to explain my documentation. The IT report confirmed Claire's unauthorized edits and access to confidential files. She was accused of sabotage, data tampering, and attempting to smear my reputation. Several junior employees testified that Claire tried to get them to fabricate complaints against me. Within an hour, Claire was escorted out. The VP thanked me for handling everything with professionalism. I got the promotion and a raise. My team surprised me with a lunch and a cake that read, "Number 1 boss officially." Claire tried contacting former colleagues on LinkedIn, but no one responded. Months later, a recruiter contacted me. Claire had applied for a leadership role and listed me as a reference. I told the truth. Talented but untrustworthy. She didn't get the job now. When mentoring others, I share this story. Ambition is good, but integrity is everything. Without it, no success is worth having.